Welcome to Whole and Healthy Cooking with Chef Val. What is umeboshi and how do you use it in your cooking? Well, I'm going to answer that question for you today. Hi, I'm Chef Valerie Wilson. I've been teaching healthy, whole foods cooking classes since 1997. I'm the author of 6 cookbooks. I offer lifestyle counseling, and I also have cooking classes on a regular basis. My website is macroval.com. So have you heard of it? Umeboshi, Umeboshi Plums, Umeboshi Plum Paste, Umeboshi Vinegar. It's in a lot of my recipes because I love the flavor of it. Now it comes from Japan, so it is an oriental seasoning. And so what it is the Umeboshi plum. It's a particular type of plum. So yes, it starts with a fruit and they ferment it. They actually mix the Umeboshi plums with shiso leaves. These are bright red leaves, and they mix it with sea salt, and then they put weight on top of it and they let it ferment. That's naturally fermented food, okay? And so then you go to the store and you either can buy the Umeboshi plums, which are the whole fermented plums. I prefer the plum paste just because it's easier to measure out to make sauces and use it as a seasoning. And then the salty brine that they pour off of when they ferment the plums, that's called Umeboshi vinegar. So this is what the Umeboshi plum paste looks like. And you can get different brands of it. This is one that's imported from Japan that I use. And this is what the Umeboshi plum paste looks like. So again, these are the plums that are kind of pureed up, comes in a paste. Again, I just find it easier in cooking to use it as a seasoning. And this is the Umeboshi vinegar. It's this beautiful pinkish colored vinegar. No wonder I love it because of the color. Also, Eden has the Umeboshi vinegar. You know, whatever brand you can find. So what is the flavor profile of umeboshi, right? Well, first and foremost, it is salty because it is a salty condiment. They fermented it with sea salt. It is pungent. Everything that is naturally fermented is pungent. It is sour. Yeah, once they ferment it, it's got that thing that makes you go, ooh, that's sour. It is bitter, but only a little bit bitter. But anything that's fermented is bitter and ever so slightly sweet because it does come from a fruit. That means it is all 5 flavors in one ingredient. Salty, pungent, bitter, sour, and sweet. That's why it could possibly be the perfect seasoning. But you must remember when using it in cooking or to season your food, it has a really strong taste. So only use a little bit. Trust me, a little bit. Let's go with salad dressing. So here I have in my bowl some beautiful organic arugula. I love arugula. And we're going to take just a little bit of the ume vinegar. And again, you're just going to pour a few drops. I mean, that's less than a 1/4 teaspoon. It's just drops, little droplets. That's all you need to season your greens. It's an excellent salad dressing. I love it that way. Now let's say we have a beautiful dish of beans that are already cooked. And we want to season it with a little bit of the umeboshi vinegar, like so. And then just mix it in. And then we taste it to see if it has enough seasoning. Remember, salt. It's predominantly salty. And again, I sprinkle drops on this. I would say, if anything, 1/4 teaspoon or less. So then, oh my God. Oh, and that's all it needs. It's so delicious. Now let's say we're going to use the Umeboshi plum paste. And I just have a bowl here of brown rice. So you could use millet, brown rice, quinoa, whatever you're thinking. Again, I'm going to just take a little bit. I would say that's a 1/4 teaspoon. And just put it in the rice like so. And then I'm going to mash it up with my spoon and get it all through the rice. So do you see how I'm using such a small amount? That's all you use, just that little bit. And it makes your brown rice oh so flavorful. Now, if you were going to use the umeboshi in cooking, I love to use it for seasoning sauces. So for instance, a lot of people make sauces with tofu. You put tofu in the food processor. I know I have a lot of recipes like that. And just a little quarter teaspoon or maybe a half a teaspoon of the Umeboshi Plum Paste is going to flavor that tofu dressing amazingly. You could also do like a vinaigrette dressing, where you would use some of the Umeboshi vinegar and mix it with another vinegar. I like brown rice vinegar, but something like that goes well together. If you make a soup, you could season it with like a tablespoon of the Umeboshi vinegar. Yum. You could also season it with the Ume Plum Paste. Again, this is stronger than the vinegar. So if I made like a pot of soup, I would probably season it with 1 tablespoon of vinegar, but I would probably only do 1 teaspoon of the Ume Plum Paste. This is stronger, all right? So again, it's an excellent flavoring for sauces, dressings, soups, to season your grains. If you were to steam some vegetables, I like, sweet potatoes and turnip and carrots, and maybe you steam some of those. Again, just a little quarter teaspoon of the Ume Plum Paste mixed in there. Yum. Or sprinkle a little of the Ume vinegar over the top. Absolutely delicious. Now, umeboshi is very medicinal. It helps to alkalize your system, has antibiotic properties, antiviral properties, antifungal properties. And because it's a fermented food, it's full of enzymes and amino acids, and it's fantastic for your digestion. In fact, my mom swears by it. If she ever has an upset stomach, she takes some of that umeboshi. So in my cooking classes, my students always go, well, how do you take the umeboshi if you have a stomach ache? Here's what I do. Again, very little bit. You don't need much. So if anything, that's 1/8 of a teaspoon, anywhere from 1/8 to 1/4 of a teaspoon. Get yourself some water and take it like a pill. Just swallow it. Now it's going in my digestive tract to do all kinds of wonderful, good things, right? You just take it like a pill. Now, some people love the flavor of umeboshi. Some people, not so much. So when you take it like a pill, medicinally, it's in your body and you don't have to worry about it. Now, another one of my favorite ways to eat the Umeboshi Plum Paste is in the summertime on corn on the cob. Yum! But again, you only need a little bit, a very thin layer. Next time you have corn on the cob, try some of the Umeboshi Plum Paste on your corn on the cob. Trust me, you will love it. So I hope that I explained to you a little bit more about umeboshi, umeboshi plums, umeboshi plum paste, umeboshi vinegar, because they're a fantastic seasoning, and I want you to use them in your cooking. Get all the health benefits of them and also all the flavoring. So rice, beans, vegetables, stews, soups, vegetables. I already mentioned vegetables, but I love them so much. Let's hey. All right. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you learned something today. I'll see you next time. Get in the kitchen and cook healthy.